Dudes, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the 92 F1 build, and we're going to be trying to get it running right this video. Last video when we first started this thing, we were having some issues, but we'll go through that in a second. First, I want to say thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers. That's absolutely ridiculous. We've grown like 2,000 subscribers in this month alone. So thank you guys and welcome to all you new guys. If you watched the last video, when we had the truck set up with both the regulators within the fuel system, the truck was running super rough and it was acting like it didn't get enough fuel. But once we realized that the stock regulator was actually a stock regulator, what we did is we bypassed this one and ran everything through that. But once we did that, the truck was still running super rich. And that's because this stock regulator couldn't really handle the pressure supplied by the fuel pump. And a lot of the gas was going through this vacuum line and into the intake. So it's just kind of flooding it a little bit, making the truck run super rich. To fix this issue and actually be able to run our legit regulator, what we did is we bought this port cap, which it'll replace this stock regulator and actually fill that port. So we'll be able to run our regulator within the fuel system and not have to worry about this port. But we also are gonna have to either cap or solder this and melt the actual plastic on this, which was the vacuum line for the stock regulator. So we're gonna have to cap that and then connect everything up, and we should be able to start this thing and see if it runs better. So we're pulling the stock regulator right now to be able to get that cap in. Just these two tabs, and it should actually slide out after that. Get it?
Yeah.
Did it leak out a little bit?
Yeah, just a little.
Cool. And that has the same O-ring like the cap has?
Well, we're gonna find out.
Well, look at it.
I'm hoping it's the right size, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Just a little stock diaphragm for the fuel regulator.
I see why they're saying to drill it out, but really, the way that this thing's designed, it's not gonna change the flow what it was originally at all. So yeah, you could drill out that return line a little bit and get more fuel, but I don't see what the real purpose is.
It's gonna take a little bit to get it in there.
Yeah, well, I hope it's tight.
There's vacuum, isn't it?
Huh?
It's a tight seal, so it's gonna be hard to push in.
There it goes.
Okay, where'd you put that clip?
This guy back on here.
It was oriented up before, if you want to keep it up. The two tabs are up.
Well, I don't like the way that is. I mean,
yeah, no, it was upside. You have it upside down.
Huh?
Yeah, it was oriented.
No. It was like this.
No, it wasn't. It was up.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. It was up. I'm sorry.
Make it straight. Okay. There, it's snapping right there.
Yeah, it's.
So now with the cap actually installed on the motor, we just have to connect all the fuel lines for this regulator, and we should be able to fire this thing right up. We got all the fuel lines hooked up to the regulator. Now we're just checking the oil in the motor. We did put 5 quarts in initially and then added another 2.
Yeah.
So the dipstick's staying full. This motor does have the oil cooler, so that's why it takes a little bit more than a stock motor.
Well, it's at 55 right now. Hold on. Don't do anything, Jake. Do it again. Oh, I don't like that. What the hell is that noise?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do it again. Just leave it on.
It stops. It primes and it stops. Oh, it's air. Yeah, it's just air. You ready? Yep, go ahead. Just bump it.
Yeah, buddy. Idle speed. Holy crap. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. You can see oil pressure right here. 2930. We hit a maximum of 34 in the rev. Start to put out. Battery voltage, charging 14.6. RPM right here, jumping around.
So legit.
Runs way better with the regulator set up properly now. We're just gonna let it run for a little bit to get things worked in, then we're gonna shut it off before it gets hot. Well, as you can see, this truck is running a whole lot better now. We're not having any issues with it running rich or misfiring. So solving that regulator issue solved all of our problems. We're gonna start the truck up again here in a little bit. Probably step back a little bit and give it a few revs so you can hear it from a distance. But before then, we're gonna work on the brake lines a little bit. My dad is currently on his way to go get brake fluid right now. And while he's gone, I'm gonna go through and make sure all the lines on the truck are tight. We already did the cab lines and the rear lines in previous videos, so I just have to focus on the front. But I'm gonna do that off camera real quick, and then we'll catch up to you guys once my dad is back. My dad just got back from the store and brought a whole bunch of parts with him, and we also got some parts in the mail from Tyler at CarTech. But my dad's just working on getting the bypass for the heater core all tied up right now. He's getting hose clamps on there so we don't get any coolant leakage out of there. But let's see what he got from the store. Got some monsters, that's crucial.
Hey.
Purple. Purple's the good one, little grape juice. But over here, here's everything that we got from Tyler. These are all the coolant lines. We are gonna do hard lines on this truck. It's gonna be its own video. Christian actually making these for the truck, and we're probably gonna polish them up too so they look really good. Here's just some of the ducting for that. Here, this line right here is actually for the tranny vent. So we need to get that made. And then right here, here's all the GOI oil. Here's all the gear oil for the rear housing. Here's the vent for the trans vent, or just the filter. More just of the ducting for the coolant lines. What do we got in here? Just a 90, that's gonna be for the vent. And also, here's what my dad actually went to get at the store. Just the brake fluid for the actual master cylinder, so we're gonna get that all in there. Right here, got all the coolant. Like I said, all that's gonna be in a separate video, how to make the coolant lines for this thing. And in that video, we're probably gonna do the axles and gear oil in the truck as well. Geez, I can't see gear oil today, I don't know what it is. But right now, my dad's just gonna get that tightened up, and then we're probably gonna get the brake fluid in there and bleed the brakes. While my dad was at the store, he also got these vacuum plugs. So we have a couple open ports on the intake here. We were just using tape to block them off before, but now we got something legit. So pretty simple. Just slide it over whatever you're trying to fill up, and then get your hose clamp so you can get a nice tight seal on there. Just try and get it to look as clean as possible so you don't actually see the hose clamp on there. I'm trying to get it to the back as far as I can. But these have a little key on them. I've never really seen these, but just get that tightened on. It is on plastic, so don't go too tight, you'll start breaking stuff. But that should be good right there. Just like that, this port is all blocked off, and we're not gonna have any vacuum leaks into the actual intake itself. So I have to do one or two more of these, and then the intake will be completely plugged. My dad just put some .3 brake fluid into the reservoir here, and we're getting ready to bleed the brakes. We're gonna start at the back right corner. Christian's just in here to actually pump the brakes, and then my dad's at the back right now. Hooking up a hose to the actual bleed port, and then we're gonna start bleeding the brakes, and I'm gonna be up here just filling it as we're going. So we're gonna get started with that and trying to get some fluid in the system. All the brake lines on this truck are brand new, so there's absolutely no brake fluid within anything, so it's probably gonna take a little while to get it all bled through and get the lines filled up. I can hear it.
Gotta get soft real quick.
Is it going down at all, Jake?
Well, I have the caps on.
Check it.
Hold on, stop. Oh yeah, it took it up.
All of it?
Yeah, that was up here. So,
Alright, so there's a lot of brake line in here.
Alright. Filled up and then it kind of bubbled down. Alright. You ready, champ?
Round 2.
Oh, champ's not even in here anymore.
Ready for round 2?
Yeah, be careful. Don't spill this on anything because it's going to eat any paint or anything that it lands on. So be very careful when you're dealing with brake fluid. Try not to get it on your kink shocks. You know, you don't want to ruin the 3.5 IVPs. Don't want to be getting those all de-anodized.
De-anodized, huh?
De-anodized. Unanodized.
Are you sure you know what you're talking about?
Anti-anodized with the brake fluid. Right. So, do you want to have the cap on while we continue to bleed this just so it doesn't come out?
Yes.
All right, boss. Round 2 of 20.
Check it.
All right. And yep, took it off. Yeah. All right, here, hold this.
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gone.
You gotta talk to me because I gotta close.
So we've been working our way through the truck, bleeding the brakes. We started in the back right, went to the back left,
Okay.
did it this side, and now we're over here on the last one. Just a lot of filling, pumping, and bleeding.
Go.
Still a lot of air.
Go.
That sounded good right there.
So we just went through and actually made sure everything's tight. It's actually time to start this thing again. We just want to feel how the actual brake pedal feels when the truck's running. We're also going to try and steer it, just see how the power steering works on this truck. It is going to be tight since the truck's actually stationary, we're not moving, but we just want to make sure everything's working, so we're going to start it up right now.
Went almost to 60 right there. 58.
Is there a lot of air in there?
Ready?
Sounds like it.
Probably.
Why is the steering jolting itself? But it's because the truck just killed itself.
Well, I'm on the wheel, so don't go.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't,
no, I
but it was
felt
doing it
the wheel
itself.
move. Yeah.
Ready?
Well, is there not enough gas in there that is bringing a lot of air in now?
It'll all.
Because we
I
only
really
put
need
5.
I need the throttle cable hooked up so I can just sit here.
I
And
can do it.
Here,
Go
get
ahead.
get your leg off the wheel if you can.
I'm off.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, go for it again. I don't think there's enough gas in there, dude. Because look, listen to that. You see?
I
You
think
hear
we're out of
that?
gas.
Sounds like there's a lot of air
There's
in there.
no way we burned through 4 gallons.
No, but there's a lot in the line.
Listen.
That it's
there's
not. It's picking up a lot of
gas in
air.
the lines. It was running rich as hell. I guarantee we burned through a bunch of gas. And it's just not
That's
sucking.
why
it's not
the
picking
fuel
it up.
pump is going.
It's not picking it
Yeah,
up.
it's
not
picking up a lot of air
We
at
need
the
to go
same
get
time.
gas. Let's go get some
I
91.
think
Time to go get some 91.
Beat stop! Truck should like us a little bit better now that it has more fuel. This is 91. If you remember, we did put 100 octane in here before. The truck is going to be running 91 most of the time, so we should have just put 91 in initially, because that's what the truck's going to be tuned on. We'll probably only ever run 100 if we're in the desert and we want to.
We're trying to feel like Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, and I'll want that extra horse. But what we were thinking is every time we would prime the actual fuel system on the truck, you would hear air running through it, and we're thinking that there just wasn't enough gas in the tank to rise above the pickup. So we were thinking that it was picking up air and gas, so now we should just be only picking up gas to go to the motor. My dad did say that the truck didn't feel that snappy when he was on the throttle, so that could have been just because of this, because it was getting air and gas and not just gas. So we'll see once we start this thing up again and feel her out. This should sound a little bit better, round 2.
Round 50.
Yeah, see, I already don't hear as much air as
Hang on, let me do
before.
it again. Yep.
Yeah, no air, don't feel it. Do it one more time.
It'll come out.
Just do it a couple times. That's air.
Ready? Ready?
Yep.
As soon as I touch the steering wheel at all, this thing goes absolutely insane and I can't hold
I
it.
saw it. Well, it could be
It was
air in
jittering.
the system or something. not completely pressurized.
Yeah, I think I got that on camera.
That was nuts. I've never seen that before in my life.
Well, could they be hooked up backwards? Like,
why would it cause the column to shake though?
well,
Yeah,
it's putting
high
pressure in the
and
wrong
low pressure
spot.
first,
Last time we started it though,
It's a
it was jumping. Like it looked like
I just started.
it was just tapping on the.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
won't touch the steering wheel this time.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm staying away from the wheel.
It's not gonna do anything, dude. Come on.
See the game. Hey, go ahead, idle. What? Brake? The brake? If it's leaking? Hey, will it idle on its own or no?
So the plugs are probably still got to get cleaned up a bit. After we ran it so rich, they're probably like kind of fouled out.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Worst case, we got to pull them out and clean them, but
Or replace them.
nah, you don't have to replace them, dude. They're just dirty with carbon.
What was the fuel pressure at the whole time?
55. It's good.
As you can tell, this thing still isn't running exactly where we want it to be. It's a little rough. It is running rich again, which is kind of weird. We have to hold the throttle a little bit for it to even idle, which is weird because this morning we didn't have to do that. So later in the day, it just doesn't want to run right, which is kind of weird. It could be the spark plugs because when we were running this thing before when it was running really rich, it could have just gotten the spark plugs a little bit dirty. So we might have to clean those, go in and check that out. It could also be the base tune that the computer is set to right now because we did change the injector, so it wasn't set up for that. So that could be another reason why it's wrong. This truck's not going to run perfect until we get a legit tune on it. I don't think we'll tinker much more with it until then. We'll just let the tuner deal with it because they know what they're doing. So this thing's probably not going to be starting that much for a while. We also have a weird steering issue that we need to figure out. It could be air in the system or something weird. So we got to get that all dealt with. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. We got all the brake lines done and bled. Try to get the motor running right. It runs a lot better than it did before, but we were still having some issues. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.